Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First this evening, Mainers celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day today.
In 2019, Governor Mills signed into law LD 179, an act to replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day. In a release from her office, Governor Janet Mills said, quote, "Today, our state honors the earliest stewards of the land we are fortunate to call home. For thousands of years, the Indigenous peoples of Maine have shaped the character and identity of Maine. While we have made progress on the challenges we share over these past 4 years, I believe this progress should represent the beginning and not the end of our work. Today, we recognize the contributions of the Wabanaki people to the fabric of Maine, and we recommit to making progress on behalf of our children and grandchildren," end quote.
Well, we set out to see just how people were celebrating this Indigenous Peoples Day, and our AJ Douglas found a family embracing the holiday in an inspiring way.
Indigenous Peoples Day celebrates and honors Native American people by paying tribute to their history and culture. Milford resident Manny Olivas celebrated his own Apache heritage by rolling up his sleeves with 2 of his 9 children to fix up their new family business, featuring thrift and collectible items. Olivas and his daughter spoke on how the values of what's known as Indigenous Peoples Day and the significance of America being a land of opportunity for all.
It means new beginnings. Obviously, people back in Columbus's day, they're looking for new lands for a reason. Kind of like the thrift stores for us, it's a new beginning for us as a family.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this, so we're going to learn a lot. Learning that they came here and they might have been afraid doing it, but they did it anyway to build a new place.
Olivas says he and his family struggled during the pandemic after he tested positive for COVID-19 while living with fibroid cancer. Olivas was forced to take time off work, and unfortunately, due to long COVID-19 symptoms, he was never allowed to return back to work.
When you hear that word cancer, you just don't know what to do with it. But thankfully, by the grace of God, it's gone, and I'm a stronger person for it.
The father of 9 says he hopes to teach his children to acknowledge their Apache roots, not just during the holiday, but all year round.
Even though the day is a holiday, it's great. But we try our best to live every day that way.
Frugal Manor and Cartastic Collectibles are set to open October 13th in Old Town. AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Meanwhile, the Wabanaki Studies Law was implemented back in 2001, requiring Maine schools teach Native American history and culture. Well, in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day, organizations like the ACLU of Maine, Wabanaki Alliance, and the Maine Indian Tribal State Commission gathered to analyze how the legislation has been implemented and where new opportunities lie.
In order to live nicely, I think, and in full understanding with our neighbors, it's good for everyone to know about our history and our modern day struggles and triumphs. And it's just really great to be able to inform our neighbors and friends here in the state.
And Dana says that tribal members are still fighting to amend the Maine Indian Claims Settlement Act of 1980 to recognize the sovereignty of Maine tribes.
Well, holidays like today bring an economic boost to Maine's tourism industry. Our Matthew Jurancic has more from Bar Harbor.
Whether it's Indigenous Peoples Day, the 4th of July, or Labor Day, one thing remains constant on these holidays for Maine. Expect there to be a crowd. It's especially true during fall holidays, when tourists flock to towns like Bar Harbor and the surrounding area for one reason.
We came on a cruise, and this is our first time in the area, and we wanted to come and see the fall foliage and see the natural park.
We actually came to see all the colors, and this is this was on my bucket list. We took the motorhome out here, so we just did Acadia, and then we're heading down the coast for a little bit.
It's fall, and the colors, we've never ever been here, so.
The uptick in visitors was something that the town in Acadia National Park expected, with boatloads and carloads of people coming to experience these areas during the fall. Acadia National Park had predicted big crowds and advised visitors to plan accordingly, mentioning long lines and arriving with a backup plan in case parking spaces are scarce. Even with Monday being a well-known holiday, tourists came to Bar Harbor and surrounding areas for their own reasons.
It was a great time to take it, time off, So it was perfect for us.
Came up for a girls' trip for a few days, had a great time. It's an adorable, quaint little town.
I looked on the website and it said the best time for color is right now.
We've retired and we finally have time in the fall to come.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Meanwhile, motorists are navigating around a new traffic pattern in the town of Herman. There is now a four-way stop at the intersection of Fuller, Annis, and Wing Roads. For years, those traveling on Fuller Road had the right-of-way, while drivers on the Annis and Wing Roads had stop signs at the intersection. A new traffic pattern change was introduced last week by the Maine Department of Transportation.
And an unfortunate reversal in trend as gas prices in Maine have ticked up slightly. They rose more than 10 cents a gallon in the past week. According to Gas Buddy's survey of more than 1,200 stations around the state, the average price is now $3.61 a gallon. And while that is still 14 cents a gallon lower than a month ago, it's 40 cents a gallon higher than a year ago. So hopefully that upward trend doesn't keep going. We just have maybe a little bit of a spike and then it just reverses harsh. It goes down again. I mean, people need a break.
I don't know if it was where I was this weekend, but it seemed like when I filled up partially today that prices were cheaper than I was seeing over the weekend. So don't know if that's going to be a trend everywhere, but maybe. We'll speak it into existence.
There are definitely regional sensitivities. I mean, it's definitely, when I'm in southern Maine, it's noticeably higher than when I come back up here. But you just hope that sort of the events that are going on in the world, OPEC cutting production, that we're now not going to start getting gouged again at the gas tank. Because, again, now we're going into the holidays, not too far off. So just, folks need a break and a little less stress.
And as the holidays get nearer, the temperatures are getting colder outside.
Yeah, they are. It's definitely been some crisp weather. Let's take a first look at our forecast and see what's coming our way.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Monday. Your first weather is brought to you by Kings Mountain RC. And okay, so for us, a cool start today, right? And we'll do temperatures like this again tonight with low temperatures down near 28, 29, 30. We'll likely freeze things up once again tonight. Okay, but then we rebounded, right? 48 was our high today, 51 for Millinocket, also for Bar Harbor. So comfortable but cool, but warmer temperatures are on the way. Until then, though, we're going to freeze everything up again. We're not going to freeze any rivers or lakes, but if you have sensitive plants outside still, this is a freeze warning for tonight. They're not going to like the temperatures, so bring them inside or cover them up. They will not like the temperatures out there tonight. Lots of clear skies out there now. We followed by more clear skies across the region tomorrow. In fact, there's no rain and or snow in the forecast for us anytime soon. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies with low temperatures hanging out near 30. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Alrighty, Jeff, thanks so much. Definitely going to maybe start busting out the winter accessories. Yeah. When you start hitting 30s, I start thinking about gloves.
The puffer jacket has got to come out by now, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna push back against the full pufferage.
All right.
But maybe a hat and some gloves.
Maybe the half puff.
The half puff.
That'll do.
I'm not sure what that looks like, but we'll figure it out.
I'm gonna invent it. They'll still come on Fox 22 News at 10. Fire departments across the state are visiting area schools to remind students about safety measures this fire prevention month.
And Maine nonprofits are highlighting the importance of volunteering. We'll have those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, plus save up to $1,100.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Brick House Kitchen, Chestnut Auto, Coastal Auto Parts, Family Pet Connection, Key Appliance, The Family Dog, TNT Glass, and West Front Market.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Fixing things is my job.
We're gonna get the job done.
The Resident, all new Tuesdays on Fox.
Coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear the latest data from the newly released Wabanaki Studies Law report, and we'll get a glimpse of why the University of Maine is honoring a member of a local tribe. Plus, Herman has newly added traffic patterns. All of this and more coming up next on Good Morning Maine.
Welcome back. Maine nonprofits heavily rely on their volunteers to keep doors open and the organizations running. Our Jody Hersey has more.
It needs an army to run this place, tour guides and our veteran interviews and everything, and even littlest things to dusting. It takes so much time, and if we had to pay every single person to do that, we wouldn't be able to help the people of Maine.
The Coal Land Transportation Museum is one of many nonprofits that rely on the time and talent of volunteers in order to operate. For other organizations like Avian Haven in Freedom, which rescues and rehabilitates injured birds, volunteers are often the difference between life and death for an animal in need.
Where we desperately need more transporters. We get calls all the time from up in the county, from down east, and it's really hard. We just have a handful of really dedicated drivers there, but we really need more of those transporters.
Like Avian Haven, the Maine troop greeters could always use some extra hands.
Yes, we would love some people in the younger generation to kind of get some of the knowledge from our older greeters, our more experienced greeters, to hear their stories, to sit down and greet these troops and kind of understand why we all do this.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, individuals between the ages of 35 and 54 are most likely to volunteer.
The Bangor Humane Society is fortunate to have a large number of volunteers who serve as dog walkers, kennel cleaners, and so much more.
They're essential to our day-to-day lives here at the Bangor Humane Society. We currently have closer to 100 volunteers, not including our foster care.
Nonprofits say they could always use more help.
They're never too old or too young to volunteer. Our youngest volunteer, being 9 years old, is just remarkable to show that, even our kids get it.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
October is Fire Prevention Month, and fire departments throughout the state are visiting local schools and reminding students to have an escape plan and a meeting place outside their home in the event of a fire. Departments are also encouraging all residents that it's a great time of year to test your smoke detectors and change out the batteries if necessary.
Smoke detectors do have a life expectancy, so I strongly encourage everybody to read on their package when they get them, because they vary in life expectancies depending on what brand you get. It's that time of year when everybody starts burning wood. Get your chimneys checked and do it before you start burning.
Fire Chief Herb Cronum says the Searsport Fire Department does have a limited supply of smoke detectors and replacement batteries for anyone who may need some.
Well, crowds gathered in Searsport over the weekend for the town's annual Fling into Fall event. The two-day event celebrates the change in seasons with a parade, music, craft fair, fireworks, and even a car show. 58 classic cars attended this year's event at Searsport High School, with all the proceeds going to the Searsport Fire Department's Barney Hose Fund.
So all the money from this show goes straight back to buying new gear for the fire department, for the members, helping families at Christmas time. So it's all for good reasons.
Awards were given to the 30 cars with the most votes, as well as People's Choice and, of course, Best in Show. That would be a tough call looking at some of the hot rods right there.
Yeah, I know.
I would not want to make that decision.
Right, and we were talking about earlier our appreciation for classic cars.
Yeah.
Neither of us has that, I don't know, I guess.
Deep knowledge.
Right, but still some really cool sites to look at.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see how the shape of cars have changed drastically over the years.
Yeah, it really is interesting. My dad had a classic GTO. He was a bit of a hot rod in his younger days, and so he kind of instilled that love. You know, like I said, I don't have the deep knowledge that many others do, but just hearing his stories really gave me an appreciation for machines like that. So it's just so cool to see them shiny and new and out there looking like they haven't even been breathed on.
Yes, it's history preserved.
It is.
All right.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, the FBI has raised the flag on the rise in elder scams, which cost 90,000 victims more than $1.7 billion in 2021.
And Russia commits a series of bombings across Ukraine, including in its capital city. We'll have those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
You can always tell where Bruce Poliquin's been. Hanging around Washington politicians and the special interests that fund their campaigns, like big oil and drug and insurance companies. Poliquin leaves a bit of Washington everywhere because he's covered in it, supporting special tax breaks for big corporations and more government spending. No matter where you see Bruce Poliquin, you know he's always heading back to the swamp. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
When the Katahdin General Store wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Come to the KG for fishing, hunting, and camping supplies, souvenirs, unique gifts, apparel like Lazy One, fresh sandwiches and baked goods, the beer cave, liquor, and a variety of takeout items.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed.
No.
We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
Ready for that new kitchen? Get inspired by the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor. It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC 7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC 7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Berg Activewear, Comfort Shoes and More, Fogbrook Resort, General Rental Center, Gilman Electrical Supply, Hometown Health Center, Remax Infinity, and the Bangor UPS Store.
We are the first family of country music.
Our family is all about fame, legacy,
Scandal, betrayal, secret, love, and murder.
Monarch, Tuesday at 9 on Fox. You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Well, we're starting to get a clearer picture of the extent of the damage in Ukraine following a series of massive revenge airstrikes from Russia. Fox's Trey Yingst has more from Kharkiv, Ukraine.
A deadly day in Ukraine as Moscow strikes back. Russian airstrikes rocking multiple cities across the country. Iranian drones also used, launched from inside Belarus, just to the north of Ukraine. You can see the images here of pure devastation. Explosions hitting the central part of the capital, Kyiv, targeting civilian infrastructure, population centers, and even a playground near a hospital. Vladimir Putin says it's revenge for a suspected Ukrainian strike on a key bridge in Crimea, with some saying it could signal a major escalation in the war.
Putin will not stop from here. He will only escalate. And our own president, Joe Biden, just recently warned us about the possibility of nuclear Armageddon.
Ukrainians in major cities taking shelter underground, while officials here push back on Russia's claim that only legitimate military targets were hit, saying the evidence clearly points toward a shift in the way Putin is waging the war.
Obviously, Russia is struggling with defeating the Ukrainian military. They're losing. So he's focusing back again on something that's within his resources, cause suffering to the Ukrainian people.
But it's a different story on the front lines. Ukrainian forces still retaking more territory from the Russians, with some now saying they're even more determined to keep fighting.
We will not waver. Our courage will not be changed. Our mission will not be altered.
President Biden condemning today's attack, saying America will continue to impose costs on Russia for this type of aggression. In Kharkiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Meanwhile, demonstrations in Iran are intensifying as oil workers are now walking off the job, protesting the death of a 22-year-old woman and the broader treatment of women in the country in general. Fox's Matt Finn has more.
It is now week 4 of protesting over the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, the young girl who died while detained by Iran's morality police. On Monday, oil workers allegedly joined demonstrators by walking off the job at 2 refineries along the coast. While local media alleges it was over a salary dispute, online videos apparently show workers standing outside chanting "Shameless" and "Death to the Dictator" in reference to Iran's supreme leader. This marks the first time protests over Amini's death have impacted Iran's rich oil industry. It also comes after a weekend of violent protesting across several Iranian cities where dozens were allegedly beaten and arrested. In Mahabad, protesters burned down government roadblocks and shopkeepers went on strike. Saturday, hackers broke into the country's evening newscast moments after the country's supreme leader was set to address the nation. Days earlier, the mother of a 16-year-old girl killed while demonstrating also spoke out. Authorities say she died after falling from a high building, but her mother says she was killed by blows to the head as part of Iran's crackdown on demonstrators.
Her face, cheekbones, and teeth were ruptured. The back of her head was hit hard, and her skull was deformed. This is how she was killed. The damage was to the head.
While there is no official death toll, an Oslo-based human rights group estimates nearly 200 Iranians have been killed since demonstrations started in mid-September. In Los Angeles, Matt Finn, Fox News.
Well, 3 weeks before Halloween, officials are warning parents of the dangers of so-called rainbow fentanyl and its similarity in appearance to candy. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
Looks like candy, right? But according to the DEA, it's just the latest trick cartels are using to disguise drugs. Nicknamed Rainbow Fentanyl, the Drug Enforcement Agency announced it had seized 15,000 of the colorful pills in a New York bust late last month, some of it hidden in a Lego box. But the drug in all of its forms is exploding across the U.S. From May to September, the DEA conducted 389 investigations in 201 cities.
We seized over 10 million fake pills and 982 pounds of fentanyl powder across all 50 states. That is enough to kill 36 million Americans.
The warning coming just weeks before Halloween has some parents worried that rainbow fentanyl will show up in their children's candy bags as they trick or treat. A dozen Republican lawmakers released this PSA warning about the danger.
I come to you today not only as a United States Senator, but as a fellow American concerned about the health of our nation's youth this Halloween.
But DEA officials tell Fox they have not seen any connection between the rainbow fentanyl and Halloween.
If we see it, I promise you have my commitment. Any credible evidence, we will come out and we will tell you.
The DEA said it had seized rainbow fentanyl in 21 states as of late last month. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Meanwhile, a concerning new report from the FBI regarding elder fraud. The agency now saying that America's grandparents are increasingly online. Scams targeting their heartstrings and pocketbooks are on the rise as well. Fox's David Spunt has more.
This is
my dad.
Like...
By the time I started taking care of him, he was in debt, a lot of debt.
Angie Kennard's late father, Donald Griffith, was defrauded out of more than $700,000 by a ring of Nigerian scammers who posed as a love interest trapped abroad.
He turned to the internet and started, looking around on dating sites and, built a relationship with this person, Mary, online. Over time, she started asking him for money and It started in smaller increments and then eventually, worked its way up to $20,000, $40,000 at a time.
Romance scams, like the one that Angie's father fell victim to, are among the most commonly perpetrated types of elder fraud.
Overall, how much money did your father give to this scam?
It looks like about $750,000.
The FBI agent who investigated this case tells Fox News that multiple families were scammed out of more than $20 million. Now, 11 are behind bars while one is still on the loose abroad.
A lot of it comes from overseas. These are professional organizations in a lot of cases that have very sophisticated call centers and targeting packages.
Aaron Tapp is the FBI's Deputy Assistant Director of the Criminal Investigation Division.
The technology is just a modality for these scammers to commit fraud. And so as the technology develops, they'll use that modality in any way they can to prey upon the elderly population.
In 2021, more than 92,000 elderly victims were scammed out of more than $1.7 billion. Of those, more than 7,000 were victims specifically of romance fraud.
People need to realize that they shouldn't be ashamed of being a victim of this type of fraud.
No money, everything is gone that I worked so hard for.
Diane Schultz, a Wisconsin retiree, lost more than $200,000 to scammers who posed as Publishers Clearinghouse.
When I run out of money and I couldn't give them any money, then they weren't happy about it. They said, "Can't you go someplace and get some more?"
The scammers, they're manipulative. They're like psychologists. They're evil. They're really good at what they do.
In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
Just really concerning, and of course important to be aware of those types of scams, especially in a place like Maine where there is a greater elderly population.
And we know that so many Maine seniors have fallen victim to scams, and so it's so important to do those stories and to let folks know this is what it looks like. It may seem real to you, but it's just not, and you just hope that they have maybe some guidance, someone telling them, that seems a little suspect, maybe don't do that, you know?
And if they have any questions, talk to someone else about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, people gathered at Ellsworth High School to raise awareness for those battling a rare disease.
And in sports, Maine football coach Jordan Stevens earns his first win as a head coach over the weekend. Find out what he had to say as the team looks to make a run. We'll be right back.
Baseball's biggest stars lead their teams in a fight for the crown. The MLB postseason on Fox.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running, and I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
When the Coach House Restaurant wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. The Coach House Restaurant, family dining at its best with fine home-cooked meals, delicious homemade desserts, and a large menu of tasty offerings for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do. And with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Now lock in 3.9% financing for 60 months, plus $500 bonus cash when you order select Ford trucks.
Mainers took Jared Golden at his word, but he just broke his promise. Golden was a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill, even though he knew reckless spending would make inflation worse and everything more expensive. What's worse? Golden and Biden hiked taxes $1 billion on those making less than $50,000. Jared Golden, independent when convenient, liberal when it mattered. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Whether you're hurt by a box truck or by any commercial vehicle, you may have a big case worth big money. If you've been hurt by any commercial truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Come out on top. Call the Twos.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why?
More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, if you live in the Orland area, a local farmer named Sonny Atwood could use some help. This beautiful cow and 3 of its friends got spooked a little over a week ago. There he is on your screen. Now they are on an adventure, but Sonny wants them home. They were last seen around Cedar Swamp Road in Orland. It's believed that they took a swim in Alamoosic Lake and then were spotted on Old Route 1. They could now be hanging out in the woods, and they just need to be found at this point. So if you see them, please get in touch with authorities so that they can help reunite the wayward cows with the Atwoods.
Certainly hoping for a safe return there. Well, Mainers are raising awareness of a rare disease that affects tens of thousands of Americans. Our Devin Dagnall has the story.
It's not easy. It's not easy for the victim going through it, and it's not easy for the family to watch.
The Maine affiliate for the Huntington's Disease Society of Americas hosted the Team Hope Walk at Ellsworth High School. According to Nancy Patterson, the Maine affiliate chair for HDSA, the event was to raise funds for the HDSA programs and to raise awareness about the fatal genetic disease.
The Huntington's Disease Society of America is there for support, for education. There are a lot of publications and webinars for physicians and anyone who's involved in the care of a person who has Huntington's disease.
According to the HDSA, it is approximated that 41,000 people in the United States have Huntington's disease, and even more family members are affected by it. Lori Wilcox, who describes herself as the voice of her brother DJ who is fighting the disease, says it's like Alzheimer's, MS, ALS, and Parkinson's all wrapped into one.
It's like you're just watching him deteriorate and you can't stop it. You can't help him. There's nothing we can do. That's why it's very important to do the walk, to do the Walk for Hope, to donate what you can, even donating your time.
Lisa Ashford, a woman who has been diagnosed with Huntington's disease, says one of the best things people can do is show their support by educating themselves and attending events like the Hope Walk.
It's awesome to see this many people. And I was actually able to have a best friend and my son and his wife here today with us. But seeing everybody turn out it's fabulous.
To learn more about Huntington's disease or any fundraisers in your area, visit hdsa.org. In Ellsworth, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, it's been a long road to recovery in Florida, where thousands are now just assessing the damage left behind by Hurricane Ian. Fox's Nate Foy has more on those recovery efforts from Fort Myers.
It's myself, my mom, my dad, and they're, elderly. And it's basically me that's doing everything.
Ian recovery efforts are turning into a daunting and exhaustive effort for folks on Southwest Florida's coast. The storm's devastating impact has left thousands displaced. Many are in shelters or motels, waiting on FEMA assistance to begin the rebuilding process.
I've lost everything. I got my dog and my cats, thank goodness, but it's rough. I just go day by day right now, so I don't know how long I'll be here.
And while the massive search for storm victims has largely ended throughout the state, in Lee County, the sheriff says he will not stop until he's absolutely sure no one was overlooked.
We are continuing to launch our fleet drones daily. We want to ensure that we do a thorough search and leave no stone unturned.
There is some good news in the midst of uncertainty. Power has returned to most impacted areas. In Sanibel, repairs to the causeway that connect the island to the mainland are on track to be finished by the end of October. Schools will also reopen next week in Charlotte County.
Everything's going to be okay. It might take a while to help your neighbor, too. because they might need you.
Florida's First Lady also announcing another relief effort. She's starting a toy drive this holiday season for kids impacted by the storm. Reporting in Fort Myers, Florida, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Well, pumpkins are one of the season's hottest items, of course, but turns out this year's intense heat and drought are giving these gorgeous gourds a run for their money. Fox's Richard Jordan takes a look at how this fall's pumpkin stock is shaping up.
We just love doing fall activities like apple picking, pumpkin picking.
Pumpkins and fall pretty much go hand in hand.
We've never seen a pumpkin patch this big.
But this year, one of autumn's token symbols has been facing some hardships.
Generally, pumpkin yields are going to be a little lower than average.
And agriculturalists are pointing a finger at persistent drought.
There was a little delay in yield. So the drought in June, for example, just caused the crop to not establish as quickly, and that caused the delay ultimately.
A new study from the World Weather Attribution backs up these claims, citing how this summer's extensive drought that especially impacted much of the west and southern United States was 20 times more likely to occur due to climate change.
Climate change is already hitting us hard.
Researchers say this level of severe drought typically happens in the northern hemisphere only once every 400 years. But the study found ongoing levels of human-induced climate change are now expected to make these periods of extreme dryness occur every 20 years or so.
The good news is there's still plenty of pumpkins to be picked, to be carved, to be eaten. And as a consumer, I wouldn't worry about there being a pumpkin shortage.
And while the drought may not completely jeopardize this season's pumpkin plans, ongoing inflation could make your stroll through the patch a little more expensive.
Input costs are up, so fertilizer, pesticides, labor, everything that goes into producing a crop is more expensive this year than last year.
Richard Jordan, Fox News.
So interesting to hear about those effects on pumpkins, but glad to see. It is nice to see all those healthy-looking pumpkins in the midst of the fall season.
It's a sign of the season. Certainly, the pumpkin picking, apple picking, sort of rites of passage in the fall. So, hopefully, there's not too much of a disruption. We did experience some drought conditions in Maine. We were seeing those, months ago. So. Most of them, I think, resolving, though, at this point.
Right. We just talked about last week how those drought conditions have improved, which is a really welcome sign. And the weather was actually great this past weekend to get out to an orchard. I did so myself. Hopefully that's the case for the week ahead.
Yeah, hopefully there are some great conditions coming our way. And Jeff Weller will be back with a full 5-day to let us know.
High temperatures were a bit cool today, but hold on, warmer temperatures are on the way. And when will it rain again? Those details for you when I come back.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
Say goodbye to lag times and death spirals with our crazy fast fiber internet. At GoNet Speed, we've dropped our prices on fiber. That means hello to fast fiber internet starting at just $49.95 per month. Or go up to 1 gig, that's 1,000 megabits per second, for only $69.95 a month. The lowest prices we've ever offered. No contract, no hidden fees, no joke. Visit GoNetspeed.com to check availability in your area.
Let's go!
It's an adventure.
Exactly.
Help is on the way.
We're not going to let anything happen to our family.
I'm worried.
Fixing things is my job.
Protect the legacy, no matter what happens.
That was so good.
Let's get this party started.
How can we be this bad?
Yay!
Welcome to paradise.
It all happens this fall on Fox. Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Varney Chevrolet. Come see what the Varney value is all about. And we had a very cold start to our day today. It is almost mid-October. We're used to this. 29 here in Bangor, also Millinocket. We're going to do this all over again tonight with low temperatures down near 28, 29, or 30. And then we did this, though. 48 was our high in Bangor, 51 for Bar Harbor, 48 for Greenville. So, it was cool out today with that north wind with us pretty much all day long. But going forward, so low temperatures down near 30 tonight, followed by a recovery tomorrow. We'll have highs pretty much back up near 60, so it's going to get warmer tomorrow and then kind of level off near 60 for a couple of days around here. Until then, though, we're going to freeze everything up again tonight with low temperatures down near 28, 29, or 30. So if you have plants that you still love, bring them inside this evening. They are not going to like the cold temperatures, and thus here's the government talking, right, with a freeze warning in effect for us this evening for temperatures hanging out pretty much near 30 or below freezing for a couple of hours tonight. Okay, so that strange noise is probably going to be your furnace this evening, but again, warmer temperatures are on the way. We're talking highs back in the 60s, probably Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday. So here we go. Right now the wind is pretty much going calm. That's a problem because calm wind, the radiation is cooling, the clear skies will give us that dense fog again for us tonight. But it's also giving us scenes like this, right, where it's just gorgeous outside. We're nearing peak, and it hasn't been very windy. That's going to change, though, later on this week as we'll get a couple systems in the area that's going to kick up the wind and bring some leaves down for sure. Out there today, though, lots of clouds early, followed by partly cloudy skies through the afternoon, and now things are clearing out once again. You know what that means, the clear skies, light wind this time of year, well as cold temperatures for us tonight. And there's not much going on to the west of us either. Here comes our weather, right, from this direction. That's going to give us pretty much a lot of sunshine for tomorrow and also for Wednesday and probably for Thursday as well, as we are in a dry stretch as high pressure is building in. Our next cold front is actually way, way, way over here. That will be in here probably closer to the weekend. So our forecast then for tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, some frost, and a freeze is likely, a hard freeze. Look for low temperatures down near 29 with that calm wind already out there now. For tomorrow, all right, lots of sunshine tomorrow, so early morning fog, followed by the sunshine with high temperatures near 60 with a west breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows a story, right? 60 for tomorrow, 65 for Wednesday, also for Thursday. Lots of clouds around for Thursday. There's our next chance for rain getting in here on Friday with a cold front that's going to cool us off just a bit for Saturday into Sunday and over the weekend. Beth?
So some pretty consistent sun for this week, which is always nice to see for sure.
Yeah, and consistent temps too, so we kind of know what to expect.
We do indeed, and that's kind of what you want.
Exactly.
All right, well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
Joe Biden and Janet Mills are working together to crush Maine families with rising costs. Mills and Democrats' radical plan targeting gas and home heating fuel will raise Maine's gas tax by up to 40 cents a gallon. And Mills' new tax on food and household essentials will increase monthly grocery bills by nearly $60. End the Biden-Mills crush on Maine families. Stop Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Dude, can you believe we're graduating? And they helped us find a great job. Soon we'll be living the dream.
Exactly. I'm incredibly grateful for Maine Job Corps. If it wasn't for them, I'd be working an entry-level job and barely making it.
Let Team Maine Job Corps help find the career that's right for you. Call 561-8516.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
The night Mama passed, she said something to me. I've done things that can never be forgiven. How am I supposed to bury her secrets if I don't know them all?
You don't get very far in this business without being just a tiny bit dirty.
Your mother is being blackmailed.
She was hiding the truth.
Just want to know what happened. Help me look into this.
Oh my God. If this gets out, it'll kill the family.
An all-new Monarch, Tuesday at 9 on Fox.
An outrageous elimination.
Are you kidding? No way!
Could split the panel.
She can't sing. Oh, he said it.
Someone's got to do it.
The Masked Singer, all new Wednesday on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Over the weekend, Maine football went down to Hampton University in Virginia and picked up their first win of the season, and head coach Jordan Stevens' first career win as well. The Black Bears won the back-and-forth matchup against the Pirates, and it was a big day for the O-line and the ground game. Rushing touchdown here. They had over 230 rushing yards. Both running backs punched one in for their first rushing scores of the season. Maine trailed by 7 heading into the fourth quarter, but they scored 14 unanswered points in that final period, both touchdowns coming from Freddie Brock, one rushing, one receiving. And with just seconds left on the clock, the Black Hole picked up their third interception of the day from Austin Ambush in the Hampton end zone to seal the deal for that first victory.
Our team, coaches, players, support staff, the whole program really been grinding out the past 5 weeks, going out to New Mexico, coming back here, and then going down to BC. And we felt like we're making progress, but just weren't getting the results we want. And so really happy for everyone in the program to get the win, in a special win for us, just to get that one and on to the next now.
Big win for them. Looking forward to what they do Saturday. Let's move over to high school sports now. And we'll start in Herman, a soccer doubleheader today. Monday for the Hawks, we will check in with the boys team. Ponies from Foxcroft Academy coming down, looking to take a road win over the Hawks. We'll start in the first half here. Foxcroft with a chance. But look at this diving save from Connor Maservi, sacrificing the body for the save, keeping it scoreless. Hawks now with a chance. Alex Rios-Mallet on the free kick. Colby Euler with the header, but that's just too high. Still scoreless. Ponies on offense again. Kyle Jankunas with the shot, but Maservi with the save again. And he gets some help from the defense, too. Eventually, we would see some goals. Second half, this is Fernando Davila Oliveria, and he is pumped about it, putting the team up 1-0. And then the Ponies would go on to win this one. 2-1 is the final score. To the nightcap we go. Brewer beat Bangor earlier in the year 1-0. Rams looking for revenge on their home turf. A 1-0 lead for Bangor. Brewer off the free kick, but Emma McNeil is there for the save. Rams still lead. On offense now, a great lead pass to Lily Chandler. She's got a one-on-one, picks her spot, and fires. Rams now lead 2-0. Looking to extend. Chandler again spins, fires, but look at the effort from Bella Tanis. She is inches away from eating the goalpost, keeping the Witches in it. After a free kick now, it's Lauren Vanetta-Stein. She finds the captain, Jordan Doak, who puts it in for Brewer, but that's all the Witches offense could muster against a tough Bangor D. Rams win this one 2-1. All right, let's take a peek at some of the other scores from around the area. In girls soccer, Presque Isle over John Baptist 5-1. Herman over Foxcroft Academy 9-0 at the beginning of that doubleheader. And then Old Town, a doubleheader for them up in Caribou. Girls would win 4-0 and the boys would fall 4-1. Let's head back to some football now, and we'll head down to Foxborough. The Patriots also picking up a win this weekend, taking down the Lions at home to improve to 2-3. And it was Bailey Zappi picking up a win in the NFL in his first start in the NFL. The rookie going 17 for 21 with 188 yards, a score, and a pick. But it's a great overall win for the whole team. They posted a shutout on defense of the Lions, who they held the NFL's highest-rated offense coming into the game. Ramondre Stevenson had 160 yards on the ground. Defense picked up a score here as well. We'll have an update on that whole quarterback situation, whether Mac Jones will play or not this week. But for now, it has been a lot of fun to see Zappi sling it in Jones's place these past few weeks.
I felt comfortable in almost really everything. Getting another week under my belt, being able to practice those guys before and after practice, during practice, taking those reps with those guys. You know, to be honest, I couldn't really pick out one distinct thing, but I think really I felt more comfortable with really everything. And, you know, having my teammates around me, they helped me a lot this week as well and this Sunday.
I mean, I feel like he did a great job, honestly. And that's just not a testament to him, but that's a testament to the coaches, the team. You know what I mean? That's a group effort, you know, and he went out there and did the best that he could, and we just had to make sure we protected him, ran the ball well, you know what I mean, caught the ball.
A big win for them, and that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Janet Mills' education department was teaching kindergartners radical transgender policies. Now it's pushing a curriculum telling students they're racist if they use certain terms. All lives matter, mass incarceration, calling the police on black people, all racist. Janet Mills closed our schools and our kids fell behind. And now she's pushing her radical education agenda. No more politics in schools, no more Janet Mills. The top funder of the Maine Republican Party is the Republican Governors Association.
It's time to take care of you. Colonoscopies are the trusted test to detect and prevent colon cancer before it's too late. Physicians at the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center are here to help you live life to the fullest, starting with a screening colonoscopy. Put the facts before your fear. Call the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center at 907-3550 to schedule your colonoscopy today. It's time.
Does your dream kitchen look like this? Or this? Or maybe you need a little more inspiration. Get it when you explore the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber Company. When you find the look you like, the Hammond team will help you customize it, including accurate 3D renderings, so you can visualize your project before the work begins. Hammond offers delivery from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire and professional service after the sale. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
Hey, I'm Jerry O'Connell. Join me this fall right here on Fox 22 at 10 a.m. for Pictionary.
Welcome back. Two of the country's largest big box department stores are offering price matching well ahead of the holiday shopping season and much earlier than anticipated. Fox's Christine Russo reports that these deals have their pluses and their minuses.
Is it ever too early to talk holiday shopping?
And if I find something that I think is a good deal, I'll buy it.
Apparently not when shoppers are trying to beat rising inflation prices.
Her birthday is December 16th and then the holiday, so I just started buying all kinds of stuff.
This season, Walmart and Target say they're starting price matching offers and discounts earlier in an attempt to get ahead of potentially rising prices closer to the holidays.
It's a little bit of a slippery slope if you're carrying debt to shop this early.
Smart shopping expert Trey Bodge says if you are going to snag some of these deals, make sure of one thing.
If you're not paying your credit cards off in full, that means that you're carrying debt.
She says not paying your card in full essentially negates the deals, as rising interest rates later on could come back to hurt you.
With inflation as high as it is, debt is more expensive than ever.
According to the Consumer Price Index report, prices of goods and services soared 8.3% from last August.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to be at least a year before it gets better.
The Federal Reserve says they are raising interest rates up 0.75%, and they expect rates to reach up to 4.6% before dropping back down next year. So while crossing some items off your list early is a good idea, Bodge says just don't wait to pay the bills.
If you do find a great deal on something that's on your list and you're paying your credit card off in full, it might be a good time to take advantage of those deals.
Well, some Hulu subscribers will now pay more for their plans. The streaming service is hiking up prices. As of today, subscribers will now pay $7.99 a month for the ad-supported tier. That's a $1 increase. The ad-free plan will now cost $14.99 a month instead of $12.99. Prices for Hulu's bundled plans with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus will stay the same for now, but an increase is expected later this year. The live TV bundle will also dodge the price increase.
Well, if you have teens that are constantly bleary-eyed from a lack of sleep, a new study is recommending 2 suggestions that might help them rest a little bit better. Rush University Medical Center researchers say teens need 2 things for more restfulness to help them with time management skills and get them into bright light. The scientists say that teens have competing factors, school obligations creating early bedtimes, and biology that wants them to stay up late. Getting teens into bright light helps reset their circadian clocks to wake up earlier, and time management routines help teens shift to earlier bedtimes. Sounds like maybe some tips that could help out other night owls, such as myself.
Yes.
I definitely struggle getting to sleep sometimes at night, especially after a long night of work and being on air and all that. It just these bright lights certainly don't help.
They keep you awake for sure. And another thing you hear a lot about is not having screen time right before you try to go to sleep. That blue light from your phone screen or other device screen can actually keep you awake longer as well. So put the devices down. I think it's like 45 minutes to an hour before you're trying to go to sleep. A little tough in this day and age, but definitely something to try and accomplish.
Yeah, put the devices down, coming from the 2 anchors with iPads right in front of them.
Okay, well, this is a work device.
I'm just razzing you.
And we're both going to be up for at least another 2 hours.
Oh, you're
so
right.
There's that also.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us, folks. From everyone here at Fox 22 News, take care and have a restful evening.
Good night, everyone.